guys, welcome back to our channel. It has been a while. We've had a lot going on lately, so we kind of took a break from YouTube, but we really miss you guys, so we're back. Super excited about today. Well, really this whole weekend, which we're gonna bring you along with. My friend is having a 30th birthday party up north at their cabin here in Michigan. Super excited. We're gonna be having 2 theme parties while we're there. We're gonna be jet skiing, having a great time. I've really been into the Great British Bake Off and the Great British Bake Off. So cute watching those little kids bake. Anyways, I took on the responsibility of doing a cake for the festivities. And my friend is gluten and dairy free, so it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge to make the cake, but I'm excited. The only thing I'm nervous about is I'm mixing 2 recipes and putting them together. Because the one recipe is just for like the cake and the buttercream. Well, I guess technically just the cake, and then the other one is for like a raspberry buttercream. So I'm gonna be making a gluten and dairy free raspberry vanilla buttercream cake. Tapping into like my baking abilities, which don't really have any, but we're gonna give it a whirl. Thanks for joining us today, and let's get into it. Okay guys, so I just set the oven to preheat at 350, and these are our dry ingredients. We have blanched almond flour, white rice flour, potato starch, baking soda, and salt. And that's just the dry ingredients, which we'll do in one bowl. The next bowl, we will do pure granulated sugar cane, coconut milk, pure vanilla, and this is soy milk that's been let out to get to room temperature. Okay, so we're gonna start off with our blanched almond flour, which needs 2 2/3 cup. Since this one's gluten-free, they say not to pack the flour. They say just to scoop it with a spoon to make sure that it's still light and fluffy, and then just to make sure to get it in there but not packed. Then that way, because if we did pack it, it would make the cake dry, which we don't want that. All right, 1 cup, 2 cups. Okay, so that was 2 2/3 cup. Dante looked it up for me, and 10 tablespoons equals 2/3 cup, because I don't have that measurement with me. So that's our almond flour. Next will be 1 2/3 cup of rice flour. Before I add the white rice flour, since looking at this almond flour is a little clumpy, I'm gonna put it through a sieve here to get the clumps out, because I have to hand mix this and it would be way harder with all those clumps. So I'm just gonna make it a little bit easier on myself to get the clumps out. Yeah, see, look how much finer that's looking now. Now guys, I'm not a professional. I just saw this on the British Bake Off. So we're giving it a whirl. Super exciting stuff. Thankfully, the white rice flour is nice and fluffy and doesn't have clumps. So then now we're gonna do, because this is 1 2/3, the 10 tablespoons. Next is the potato starch, which we need to do 3/4 cup, which would be 12 tablespoons, since again, I do not have 3/4 cup. So next is our baking powder, and we need to add 2 tablespoons of that. 2. Last thing on our dry mixture before we whisk it together is 1 teaspoon of, a half a teaspoon of salt. Yummy, yummy. Okay, now I'm gonna whisk together the dry ingredients. I'm just gonna keep mixing it till I feel like it's all whisked. I know this whisk is just crap. I need a good one. This is plastic. As you can see, I'm like holding on to it. Look how much it bends. Nice and mixed. All right, let's get started on our wet ingredients. Okay, we're gonna start with our 1.5 cup of cane sugar. All right, 1.5 cup of cane sugar. Next is our coconut milk. It says to shake very well before adding it in, and this would be 1/2 cup. Shake, 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 shake your milk. Shake your milk. Then here's our 1/2 cup of shaken coconut milk. Ooh, looks nice and smooth. Look at that. Okay. I've already measured out this soy milk because obviously I let it sit out to be at room temperature. And this is 2 cups. Here's 1 cup. And 2 cups. Last thing on our ingredients is 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract.
No, I was just calling you. What time were you leave today?
Time to whisk.
Well, I'll be ready. I put busy till.
So I added the wet ingredients to a different bowl because that one's a little too small. Because I have to add the dry ingredients into here. So I'm gonna start by adding a little in, kind of mix it, and then we'll just continue to add it as we go. Add it in there. Good. It's thickening, but there's like not clumps. Just working it through. It smells amazing, so I'm really hoping that it tastes amazing. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get the pans ready with adding some parchment paper at the bottom, and then we'll fill them. This next step I saw somewhere online to get the parchment paper at the bottom. You go around the pan to make a circle, and then, oh boy, I'm struggling, guys. Then from there, you can cut it out and then put it in the pan. Oh, look at that. A perfect circle. All right. Perfect, it fits just great. And this, I believe, will keep the cake from sticking to the bottom of the pan. And number 2, perfect. So for this recipe, we obviously want to make them as even as possible, similar to any cake. And then we have to let it sit in there for about 5 minutes. Apparently it helps this recipe. I'm just going off of what it says online. Now we're gonna let that sit for 5 minutes. Okay guys, so it's been 5 minutes. We're gonna put this in the oven for about 38 to 45 minutes. I'll probably check on it right in the middle to see how it's doing. So I'm gonna plop them in now. So now I am about to make the raspberry filling for the cake, which also will be part in adding into the raspberry buttercream later on. This is something that needs to cool just as much as the cake when it comes out needs to cool. So I'm trying to get it done so that when I go to frost the cake near the end of the day, it's nice and cool. So we need 2 cups of fresh or frozen raspberries. I decided to do fresh. Here is the 2nd cup. Next, we're adding 1/4 cup of granulated sugar cane, 2 tablespoons of water, 2. This is 1.5 teaspoons of lemon juice. There's the 1/2 teaspoon. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of lemon zest. So we are going to bring this to a boil and then simmer for 10 minutes. Okay, so I have the raspberries to a simmer and we're going to simmer this for 10 to 15 minutes. Now we are going to sift it, sorry. We're going to sift it through before adding cornstarch. So in here we've made almost a slurry. This is 1 teaspoon of cornstarch with 1 teaspoon of water. So we're gonna mix it together. Now that we've made our slurry, we're gonna add it in and mix. Okay, now that that's mixed through, we're gonna add this to a pan and bring it to a boil to thicken it up. Okay, now we're gonna add it to our pan. Looks great, guys. So now I'm going to add it to a glass dish to let it cool. Cakes are cooling, and then this raspberry filling, which I will use later, is cooling. So I'll come back in a couple hours when I come to decorate and everything's cooled. Okay guys, so it's been 30 minutes. I am going to flip these upside down. Still a little bit warm, so that they can be on the cooling rack. Okay, that one came out. Yay. Yay. All right, guys. Pretty good, huh, Dante?
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna take off the parchment paper so that they can fully cool on these racks. Nice.
You said you didn't know how to do nothing.
I know, they turned out pretty good.
Like a Betty Crocker, this motherfucker.
Alright guys, so now I'm gonna let these cool. They're still a little warm obviously, so I probably won't decorate them till near the end of the day. We leave around 6 p.m. tonight, so I'm looking to probably decorate them around 4. Alright guys, the cooling process has begun. Okay guys, we are back. The cake is cooled, which is great, and so is the raspberry filling. We are gonna work on making the buttercream right now. First off, we're gonna use a dairy-free butter that has been sitting at room temperature. And I'm using this one right now, 1 cup. And we're gonna get the half a cup and the half a cup of butter. We're gonna mix this until it's nice and smooth. Okay guys, so the butter is creamed. Now what we are going to do is we have to sift this powdered sugar. So it says to do about 5 cups, 1 at a time. So that's technically what we're just about to do. So that was the first cup. And we will get this baby going. Okay, I'll just keep that going while I sift the rest. Okay, that. And then this would be 5. Help get the sides here. And next we're gonna add the vanilla extract, raspberry filling, and a pinch of salt. 3 tablespoons of the raspberry filling We're about to add 3 tablespoons of almond milk. Oh, 1, 2, 3. And a half teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay guys, so it's time to start decorating. This is the buttercream. It tastes delicious. I had a little sample, and I also forgot to mention add that little touch of salt. So super excited. I'm just gonna get a little bit on the cake right now, and then I will spread it out before adding a border. I know it's a Cutco knife, but it's technically a bread knife. I don't really know. But this is what we got. So this is what we're gonna work with. All right guys, now I'm gonna add the filling here in the middle. The good thing is this filling isn't too thick. I was nervous that it was gonna be too thick and too much, so that when I added the top layer, it would jet out. But I think this is pretty good. So there's that middle layer. Okay, this is my first time piping, so please bear with me. Oh gosh, this is bad. I'm just doing a border. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but this is just to keep that filling from pushing out. And I'm just gonna do 2 layers. And now we're gonna add our second layer. Okay. I just want to make sure that it's like even before I press down. So I'm gonna lightly press. Now I'm going to add the rest of my buttercream and get this baby in the fridge. Okay. So far so good. We're gonna put it in the fridge and I'll be back. Okay guys, so far so good. Ignore this part because I'm just gonna do piping there, but so far so good. I tried the buttercream like 4 times. Really good. Even Dante loves it. I'm gonna decorate the top with berries, and then I have a pipe of frosting sitting in the fridge that I'm gonna pipe at the bottom to make it look a little bit more uniform. So yeah, time to decorate. I didn't film the second frosting just because I am in a crunch of time, but I figured I'd bring you along for final decorating. To add the berries at the top. Bada boom. Okay guys, so here are the raspberries on top. It looks so cute. Guys, this looks like professional and shit. And so I made a little hole to put this pipe through, and then I'm gonna put the buttercream in here and then try to pipe that way. Okay, I'm gonna try to make this quick and then we'll just clean up from there. But it's coming out everywhere, guys. It's coming out everywhere. Alrighty. Woo, guys. Okay, I think we made it. It was a rough go, but you know what? It's the best we could do. Okay guys, I'm super happy with how the cake turned out. I'm super excited for people to try it. But yeah, that is the gluten and dairy-free raspberry cake. So super excited. We did it! Hey guys, so tonight is 90s night and Dante is repping MTV. I'm wearing a cute little plaid dress with the t-shirt, bandana, Dante's also wearing 2 bandanas. So, 90s night, let's go.
Roll with me.
Ooh, baby. All right, guys.
Now you tryna pull up to my crib, I think you really gotta go. Just go.